I don't plan on getting
It
involved.
makes you feel good. And that's when the kids are glad, you know. Yeah. It's always like, you have a meeting tomorrow, you have this. Yeah. Well, it's Ed's birthday month.
Yeah, it's the third.
My husband.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Well, it's a shame. I'm here. I didn't actually think I had to be here for the because we're not voting.
Really, we're not voting. We're just introducing.
Yeah.
How you doing, Abe?
You know,
I think I
don't
will.
think it's going to be long at all.
Yeah. Hey, I can't find the website.
Oh, we're ready. I'm sorry.
Township committee. Township committee. Sorry. Okay. Order. Ready?
Okay, these.
Ready?
What is it?
Good evening, everyone. We're going to call the meeting to order. We thank you for bearing with us for a few moments. The time now is 7:08. If those residents may recall, and for those that may not recall, tonight, Department of Health had a public hearing on the proposed virtual hospital coming to West Hampton Township, proposed to come to West Hampton Township. There was a public hearing at the Hilton Gardens Inn, and we were wrapping up from there, coming over in transition. So that's why we're somewhat tardy tonight. Thank you for bearing with us. Requirements of the Sunshine Law. This meeting was advertised in the Burlington County Times on January 5th, 2017. Will you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome you again. Thank you all for coming out this evening. Would you please join me in a moment of silence? And I guess from a historical perspective, would you join me in a moment of silence for, on this date, 49 years ago, Dr. King would give his mountaintop speech, and it would be the last time that we would hear a speech from Dr. King before he would be felled by an assassin's bullet in Memphis. It was poignant in that Dr. King was speaking on equality and equity of all Americans. And I thank you. Roll call, please.
Committeeman Lopez.
Present.
Committeewoman Smith-Hartman.
Present.
Committeewoman Talisa.
Present.
Committeeman Wisniewski.
Here.
Mayor Daniels.
Here. Approve tonight's agenda.
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith-Hartman.
Yes.
Talisa.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes.
Daniels.
Yes. Regular meeting minutes of March 20th, 2017.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith-Hartman.
Yes.
Talisa.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes.
Daniels.
Yes. Closed session meeting minutes of March 20th, 2017.
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith-Hartman.
Yes.
Talisa.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes.
Daniels.
Yes. Monthly reports and communications are posted on the bulletin board in the foyer. Scheduled appointments, there are none. At this time, I would like to open the meeting to the public for comment on agenda items only. We're open. Agenda items only. We are closed. Continued agenda items, there are none. Old business. Colleagues, anything? None. Under new business, does anyone have anything? Okay. As I had stated earlier, I'll introduce this from this perspective right now. I had said that we were somewhat late. Tonight was the postponed meeting for the Department of Health public hearing on the application for the virtual hospital project that has been slated to come here, as many of you already know. And I want to make sure that I get it right. I believe a provisional application has been granted that essentially shifts operation from Mount Holly to West Hampton Township, and tonight was just a component open public meeting. I testified tonight, however, and out of an abundance of caution and out of all respect for all of our residents, in that I am a member of this body by way of the mayor this year, and also serving on the Land Development Board, and also as our, if you will, and I'll use air quotes, chair of our Economic Development Strategy. I recused myself from those roles, and I just spoke as a citizen of this town. My case in chief was primarily based on three potential issues, three actual issues, I'm sorry. One was the visioning statement that was conducted by this township in concert with the Department of Community Affairs back in 2010 that encompassed all of the stakeholders within the community of West Hampton. And also, it was a longitudinal study that was done over West Hampton days, many town hall sessions, and under goal, there was some 7 goals that would come forth from that. And under goal number 5, I had advanced to the board tonight that goal number 5 would create a recognizable identity for West Hampton Township that sets it apart from surrounding towns, presents a positive impression to visitors and residents, and establishes a sense of place. Create a center of West Hampton either through a commercial core, dedicated community space, or neighborhood creation along the West Hampton Boulevard 541 corridor. I advanced that I thought this project fit this bill. 2, in a state of the city's address in 2016, from large to small communities like ours, the top 10 issues over the last 3 years, going back to 2014, 2015, and 2016, was economic development. Mayors felt that, in the words of our nation's mayors, the state of the city is strong again, thriving, dynamic, poised, and full of momentum and pride. These sentiments conjure up a common theme: cities are resilient. Economic development was the #1 issue in 2016, followed by public safety, budgets, and 4 would be infrastructure, and rounded out 5 without going all the way down would be education. And 3rd was simply a real personal point of introspection that as a veteran and someone who knows the healthcare industry very intimately, being the first party, having first-party interest by way of 4.5 years on dialysis and subsequently a kidney transplant, and 15 years with this transplant, I realized that I have seen the worst of care to absolutely the best of care. If a hospital, in fact, is going to be built, and if, in fact, Mount Holly will lose the hospital that it has there, I think that it's in the best interest, or from my personal perspective, that the hospital could and should be built here in West Hampton Township. And that basically was what I testified to tonight. In a way of fullest of disclosure, I wanted you, the residents, to understand and know what I said prior to it being printed in the newspaper. So that's all I have. Anyone else have any questions of me or what else may have been said?
I think the only thing that I would like to address is that one of the people from the state used to live in Torrensfield. He lived on Torrensfield Road, and I think he's very aware of traffic, and that was probably the biggest concern that was had tonight, was traffic and noise. So, John, I believe, will take that very much into consideration, the people's concern. That's all I have.
I just add one bit of information. Tonight, we all attended, or most of us attended, and the goal of my attendance wasn't to testify, but was to listen to the concerns of the neighbors, to listen to the concerns of the residents, the young, the older, who were present, and we heard concerns of traffic. We also heard concerns of staffing levels for emergency services, both police, fire, and also equipment that would be needed to man and staff a hospital that size. We heard a presentation from Virtua as well, acknowledging a lot of those concerns, the environmental, the historic aspects of such a construction job, and that they're willing to work with the Township Committee and the community to mitigate and address as many concerns in as far as advance as possible. That's what I heard tonight. I want you all to know that I will hold Virtua and work closely with Virtua to ensure that that is so. And, I think it would be appropriate to maybe host a few community meetings with residents so that we can discuss concerns and address as many of them as possible. I think it's beneficial for the township. It's beneficial for residents. And I commend all the residents that were there. The room was pretty packed. And we heard a lot of testimonies from residents, both pro and some con. So we encourage or commend the residents for coming out. So that's all I wanted to say, is know that we're very sensitive and we're listening to any and all concerns. And we do believe, or at least I'll speak for myself, that Virtua has expressed that they're interested in being a good partner to listen and address some concerns. I heard that tonight. So I plan to hold them to that as well.
Any other comments? Okay, moving right along. Thank you. Resolutions. We have first up, Resolution 6317, payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through 3/31/2017.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Tulisa.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes.
Daniels.
Yes. Thank you. Resolution 6417, in support of the distracted driving crackdown. This resolution declares West Hampton Township support of the 2017 You Drive, You Text, You Pay distracted driving crackdown, which takes place April 1st through April 21st, 2017.
So moved.
I second that.
Any discussion?
Just one comment, just highlighting the severity of this initiative. I know some residents, including myself sometimes, we may get upset for getting pulled over, and it's about a text message, or they saw you with your phone. Just last night, I got a call at around 11 at night from my father, asking me to pray for somebody who was injured, hit on a hit-and-run accident. And never in a million years did I think it would be somebody that we knew. And it was a colleague, a family friend, lost his life. And a older woman who was with him as well, another colleague, killed. We don't know the reasons. We don't know why. But I think for someone to drive as fast as they drove and to literally, if you saw the video footage that the news crews showed, literally hit them so hard their shoes, both shoes, came off. I would think that person had to be pretty distracted. So this is an important initiative, and I just wanted to lend my support and just tell the residents that are here tonight and those that are watching, let's. My son reminds me, I'm guilty of it. Dad, you promised. So we're going to take this serious.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, for those comments. Any other comments? No? Roll call, please.
Lopez.
Yes.
Smith Hartman.
Yes.
Tulisa.
Yes.
Wisniewski.
Yes.
Daniels.
Yes. Resolution 6517, cancel taxes, Block 604, Lot 16. This resolution canceled the taxes on the township-owned property, 114 Church Street, in the amount of $1,119.79. What say you?
I'll motion this. And this is the one on Church Street, right? I'll motion it.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
What I'd like to comment is that we've discussed potential plans for it. I think the original intention of the committee was to purchase it was for the Timbuktu committee to start housing artifacts and the like there. I just want to make sure that we come to a concrete plan for this property. I'd hate for this property to become derelict while it's under township management and oversight, and also canceling the revenue stream for the township. So I just want to make sure we all,
We own it, so that's why we're
Yeah.
resident. I do want to talk to you about that in the future, as I understand that building is fallen into security guidance repair, so we may want to look into demolishing.
Demolish.
okay. Okay.
Thanks, Maria.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? There being none, roll call, please.
Lopez?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Talisa?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Daniels?
Yes. Resolution 6617, cancel taxes, exempt properties. This resolution cancels the taxes on the attached properties due to the residents qualifying for a 100% exemption for a disabled veteran. One of the properties is a group home, which is a qualified 100% exemption.
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call.
I do. We have
Okay.
discussion. These are 6 properties, well, actually 5 properties. One is a group home. I guess my question is, the property owners of these 5 homes, are they relatively new
New purchases?
new purchases?
I don't know when they purchased, but they're new approvals. We just discussed it today with the assessor.
And also, she said that these funds have not been included in the, they don't affect our budget. She knew they were exempt, so they weren't included in any of the costs for residents.
Now, I'm just kind of surprised when I saw that there were 6 properties listed. It just seems to be happening more and more. Do we have enough documentation?
I will tell you this, I mean, from my own experience, they're not new homeowners, because 5 Lancaster Drive is my neighbor who lives down the street.
Right.
He's lived there probably as long as I have. So
He's now a group home?
Pardon?
He's now a group home?
No, the group home is the one on Wood Lane Road.
Okay.
All the others are,
Oh, okay. So it's not,
private residents, but, I don't know why he received, an exemption now.
disabled.
Yeah, maybe he was finally declared disabled.
And just so you know, these are, just finished a 3-year audit.
And we do have all the documentation supporting this?
If the committee woman's done, I just want to piggyback on her concerns and comments. They are shared concerns, not so much that the veterans are using this benefit. The veterans obviously have given so much for our country, and all the freedoms and liberties that we enjoy. They deserve every single benefit they can get out of this country. And also, there is a movement. There's certain types of veterans that have not potentially stepped foot in conflict or in battle. But there are veterans, but unfortunately the state of New Jersey does not recognize them as veterans. There is a movement that I'm seeing for recognition of these veterans or comrades to be properly recognized as veterans in the state of New Jersey. Should that pass, that can be a large pool of additional folks getting 100% tax exemption. So understanding and Tricia's concern, and it's a mutual concern, I believe there are federal programs and grant dollars that are available for communities that are close or adjacent to military bases. And West Hampton, clearly we're close to the Joint Base, and we have a lot of those families here. So I'm going to write this down, but also, Maria, if you can hold me to it, and maybe the staff, should you guys find time, see if we can find out more about that, about what if any resources, programs, grants, benefits is a small township like West Hampton missing out on for being so close to a military base and being the home or the receiving community of many military families.
I have a unit of it when Nancy Burke has done a lot of research on that, and she actually has a proposed bill to get communities that are near bases, so they have a higher, so more effective than taking 300 miles away from the base. So I'll talk to her.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's good. But my concern is, as long as we have the documentation supporting it,
All right.
how often do they review the documentation? Is it every 3 years? Okay.
And I guess I would add that while I understand all of the concerns that the committee has put forth, that my dying declaration will always and continue to be that words like oxymorons like homeless veteran and when we want to look at our veterans as heroes, and particularly during election season and times, we stand close and want to run with the support of veterans, but there are times, and I'm somewhat dissatisfied and quite frankly disappointed with the New Jersey legislature that a veteran is not a veteran in the state of New Jersey, and almost every other state in the Constitution of this United States of America, a veteran is a veteran. A veteran does not choose where he or she goes to serve this great nation. A veteran does not choose the hour or the manner in which they will die or how they will die. They just simply put on the uniform, swear a sacred oath to this country to defend it against all enemies, both foreign and or domestic. And I think it's high time that the New Jersey legislature stands up and stop kowtowing to interests that do not move what I think is a significant best interest of what should be for all veterans. Two, I would also agree that there should be a companion bill that should be included, that the United States Treasury Department, vis-a-vis its bases, and perhaps even the state of New Jersey, should offer small communities or towns that are near communities like this impact aid. At the end of the day, the military, the DOD, went away from housing military families on base and co-locating them within the communities that they surround, and I think that was a win-win both for the military families and or communities of military veterans who buy the housing stock that is around. So that's my soapbox. I wanted to get it on the record. I am sure that with our very capable tax assessor, Ms. Procacci, that all of the necessary paperwork is in order and have been submitted. And I thank you all for bearing with me with my tirade. But as a 100% service-connected veteran, it just galls me when sometimes there's issues and not all veterans are seen as equals in the state of New Jersey, and that should be the case. We have a question. Roll call.
Lopez?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Talisa?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Daniels?
Yes, thank you. Resolution 6717, refund taxes on Block 203-01, Lot 41. This resolution refund the taxes paid subsequent to the tax assessor declaring the property total tax exempt.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lopez?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Talisa?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Daniels?
Yes. Resolution 6817, appoint the alternate JIF Fund Commissioner. This resolution appoints Joe Otto as the alternate fund commissioner for the Borough Code JIF.
Motion.
To approve.
Second.
Okay. Joe, awful popular, right?
Any
Any discussion?
Heard so much rather than being.
They're so much fun.
They're actually very nice people. They really are.
Insurance is a lot of fun.
Roll call, please.
Lopez?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Absolutely.
Talisa?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Daniels?
Yes. Resolution 6917, authorize access to township property. This resolution authorizes access to Grubbs Run, a tributary of the Rancocas Creek, for the purpose of surveying and mapping.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Lopez?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Daniels?
Yes. Thank you. Resolution 70-7.
Mr. Mayor, can I interrupt you a second? I didn't correct the resolution, but you'll be pleased to know that there was a miscalculation in the bid amount, and it's gone down by $20,000.
Hallelujah.
Like it.
And the new figure is $181,437.50.
We'll always take a reduction. We thank
We
you.
like it.
Thank you. That's Resolution 70-17. Award contract for Wood Lane Road sidewalk improvements. This resolution awards the construction contract for these improvements to CurbCon, Inc., in the amount of the new stated figure that our clerk gave, and I didn't write it down,
181,437.50.
pursuant to the Deputy Mayor's
Like
declaration.
it.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? There being none, roll call, please.
Lopez?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Daniels?
Yes.
Just to know that is paid for out of the community development block grant, $78,000, and the remainder will be paid out of the code trust fund because it's existing project agreement.
Good.
One question, Maria, and it's not on this particular project. The federal budget, do we know with the CDBG funding, is that on the chopping block or? Okay. That's- Got it.
Okay. Resolution 7117, 2017, municipal budget notice. This resolution introduces the 2017 municipal budget and sets the date of the public hearing, which will be May 1st, 2017, at 7 p.m.
Motion?
Second.
Committee comments. Well, let me go ahead on and advance this. Thank you, colleagues, and I would like to thank each and every one of the colleagues sitting up here for their hard work. I would like to thank Maria, Township Administrator, for doing the lion's share of this work, as you can imagine. Going through any budget with numbers is taxing and complicated, but having an opportunity to be in a room with 5 leaders, independent thinkers, is tough enough as it is. I'd like to thank our department heads and the men and women, quite frankly, that get the job done, because this isn't always easy on them as well. I think that we try to work hard within the constructs of a return on investment to our residents in town, realizing that purse is not necessarily open. What can we do to efficiently and effectively advance from the perspective of services to our residents? The 2017 general budget, some information. The total budget for 2017 will be $10,857,212, an increase of $99,664 from 2016. The rate will remain flat. I repeat, the rate will remain flat at 563 cents per 100 of assessed value. The average assessed home is $240,900, down $1,371 from last year. Our starting budget position this year was better than in prior years, as more revenues were received than anticipated due to construction permits, registration of vacant properties, and lower personnel expenses. I would like to thank this body, this committee, for thinking generally and working collaboratively, looking from an economic development perspective, and chiefly the Camuto Group. That project was able to help us realize this budget that I'm advancing to you tonight. Secondly, we now have a code enforcement official that, quite frankly, has just been stellar in her deliberations and have been on the forefront of getting large entities and small entities to do their fair share by way of the registration of vacant properties. And also, I'd like to thank all of us for shared sacrifice from a lower personnel expense perspective. The changes in the 27 budget include healthcare costs. There was an increase of $14,617. Pension costs, an increase of $24,027. Debt service, a decrease of $2,225. And a new line item called Community and Cultural Affairs, which will for the first time, give this committee an opportunity to do some of the things that a lot of other communities do, like have an opportunity to recognize the rich history that is West Hampton Township, an opportunity to celebrate and be one with our community. Please stay tuned for some exciting upcoming announcements. The line items not under township control will always be pension payments, healthcare costs, rates of and employee contributions set by the state, trash collection, that is a bid item, insurance set by the joint insurance fund based on loss and runs, fire hydrant service, it's set by the utility company, fuel, quite frankly, it's set by the economy. There was a tax levy cap. Municipalities are allowed to increase their budget by 2% of the tax levy of the previous year. There are exceptions that are not published, that are not included in the 2%. These exceptions include increases in pensions, health benefits, debt service, and capital expenditures. The 27 budget falls under the tax levy cap and conforms with state law. Again, I am proud to have had an opportunity to work with this body. I'm proud also to report that we didn't always agree, but I think that we were able to come to a degree of consensus that, quite frankly, aptly moved what was in the significant best interest of West Hampton Township and her taxpayers. I will open now for my colleagues who might have some other remarks, either dissenting or moving by way of...
I think you said it all.
I just wanted to add just one point that you did not say. Normally, when you hear these numbers, right, a second year of no tax increase, it's a positive, a major positive. I'm lucky enough and honored enough to have been elected by you all last year, and I've been serving 2 years consecutively, and this is our second year consecutively that we do not raise taxes in West Hampton Township. We took an oath, and we all said this year that we were going to try to be innovative and put differences aside, put party aside, and try to come up with a budget that honored our neighbors. We really believe, and Committeewoman Talisa said it before, when we went to these budget conferences, the budget is kind of your moral compass. It's your message to your community. It's your priority. And this year, today, we're sending a lot of message again. What's our priority in West Hampton Township? And that's every neighbor that's living here. It's every senior citizen that's living here. It's every single mother. It's every middle-class family, that's all struggling, like all of us, trying to keep food on the table, keep the lights on, and the mortgage is paid on time. So we're honoring that pledge. And finally, when you hear this, people think lean and mean, right? Those are kind of the words that tie together. This budget is not, it's lean, but it's not mean. In this budget, we're highlighting, and it's worth bragging about, the highest pay increase for township employees, administrative employees, in the history of West Hampton Township. The highest pay increase for township employees in West Hampton, administrative township employees. And at the other side of that token, you have, I can't even calculate the amount of savings, taxpayer savings, that our employees stepped up, and their union, the AFSCME, to meet the township committee to the middle, to make a series of concessions for new employees, and some instant for right now current employees. We thank them. We really talk about, we have a great workforce. In this negotiating cycle, and it wasn't easy, it took 2 months plus to negotiate a contract. Talisa, our Committeewoman Talisa, was right there. Both her and I were assigned to negotiate it. We're really happy. So I think everyone should leave here feeling really excited and positive. We thank our directors and thank all of our employees for working with us. So again, this is the second year of no tax increase, no layoffs. We already heard the creation of a new line item, the creation of another position. So we're growing, but we're growing in a smart way. So thank you to all of my colleagues for supporting this budget.
The only thing that I wanted to add was, We also are making a $38,000 bond payment this year that it wasn't due to be paid, I believe, the 2020? Was it 2020 that we didn't have to start paying towards?
2018,
2018?
2018.
Okay, so we got ahead of the ball and made that payment, so.
And also, since you mentioned that the SAFER grant, we're hedging. We want to be forward-thinking. We all told you that we need to start being strategic and looking at the long-term picture. The SAFER grant is an amazing grant. The federal government gives us a certain amount of money for 3 consecutive years, and after the 3 consecutive years, they pull that money back, and then the township has to absorb that cost. We're already ahead of the curve, and we're setting aside money for that. So when the feds pull that money, we don't come back to you all with a tax increase in one hit. So again, this committee, we really worked together on this budget. We didn't agree on every single line item, but it worked out very nicely.
It's
You know,
online?
and,
It's online?
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is it online, Maria? Is that what you said?
I'll hand it out.
Did you say it's online? Okay, right here. Okay, good.
As the deputy mayor hand that out, one of the other things that I would like to highlight.
Yeah.
You have something?
No, I was just going to say, nothing.
One of the other things that I would like to highlight is that last year, there was a lot of shared sacrifice, and as budgets go sometimes, there was shared sacrifice from the perspective that I think everybody had to step back, take a deep breath, and realize that it was in the best interest of the township, understanding what we were trying to do. I think that from the perspective of the economic development that we worked hard to arrive at by way of working with Mr. Dolan and the Camuto Group, and then the significant permitting fees that were available to us, we were able to start this year truly in a much better position than I can say that we started since I've been on Township Committee. I came on Township Committee in 2009. That was the beginning of the economic tsunami, if you will. And I'm happy that perhaps from an economic development standpoint, that we will have better days ahead. There being no other statements, roll call, please.
Lopez?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Yes.
Talisa?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Daniels?
Yes, thank you. Resolution 7217, award contract for the Holly Lane Phase 3. This resolution awards the construction contract for these improvements to Aerowalk Paving Company in the amount of $274,199.99.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Lopez?
Yes.
Smith Hartman?
Oh, yes.
Talisa?
Yes.
Wisniewski?
Yes.
Daniels?
Yes, thank you.
I
There
was
are
having
no-
a sidebar with somebody.
There are no ordinance tonight. I have no correspondence. Do we have any other correspondence? What's going on?
Nope.
Um,
Moving right along.
I received the packet that you dropped off to all of the committee members, and I think we read in the newspaper about the legal action. I received that. Was it?
that was it. Okay.
The packet. It was a yellow folder.
Oh.
Yeah, the pending litigation. Residents read it in the newspaper. I received that this week, or this past week.
Okay. Thank you. Dates to remember. Tonight, April 3rd, 2017, virtual hospital, public meeting, State Health Planning Board. That was at 7 p.m. Tonight also, the county shred.
The shredding
Oh,
is
it's
the 8th.
Oh,
That is
sorry
the
eighth.
about
Okay.
that. Yep.
So that's the 8th. County shredding event at Rowan College, Burlington County, 331 Route 38, Mount Laurel. That will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. 4/18/17, Mass for the fallen officers, St. Mary's Cathedral in Trenton. Chief, are we going to be there? Okay. Okay. Okay, are they honoring Trooper Cullen? Okay, thank you. 4/19/17, clothing drive to raise funds for senior gatherings at West Hampton. Drop off gently used clothes, shoes, beddings, purses, coats, toys, and books at the Recreation Department. Tax receipts are available. The time will be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there will be another county shredding event this is May 7th, 2017, at the Resource Recovery Complex in Florence from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Are there any other dates?
I have a few dates.
Sure.
Missing. Okay. April 5th, so that'll be this week. There is a home security workshop for seniors, and it is at the rec center at 11 o'clock. Did you know about it? Okay. In case anyone who did not know. So it's the home security workshop. Are you presenting anything on Chief Otto or the state? Okay. All right, we'll tell your neighbors, let them know. Also, on next Saturday, which is February 8th, it's our Easter egg hunt at Hollyhill
April?
School.
It's this Saturday?
This Saturday, yes. And it's become very, very popular. I think we're up to like 2,000 eggs that we're going to fill with treats. And what it is it's on the website, but it's different times for the age groups. So at 9:30, it would be the babies that are 1 to 3 years old. At 10 o'clock, the preschoolers. 10:30, kindergarten. 11 a.m. would be your first and second graders. And then at 11:30, grades 3 and 4. It's a lot of fun. So, like I said, it is on the website. It is this Saturday. If it rains, the rain date would be the following week, which is April 15th.
Tax day. Tax day. Tax day.
The only other date that I would have, and I'm glad that you brought that up, are you finished?
Oh, well, no, there's one more thing. Okay. And this is over at the sports complex. Unfortunately, with the rain on Friday, there was a soccer game, and it was Rutgers versus Villanova. Very disappointing, but I think, is it being rescheduled for March 31st? No, March 31st. May?
I think May, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll let you know, and it'll be on the website and Facebook. Also, there is a spring kickoff tournament, and it's the PDA at the sports complex, and that is next Saturday as well, the 8th. It's boys and girls ages 8 through 14, and the teams are coming from throughout the country because we are getting a reputation for our fields, and this brings income. People come in, they stay at the hotels because it is both on Saturday and Sunday.
I have a suggestion.
Okay. Maureen?
When
The
my
department has a suggestion.
When my son played soccer, we traveled all around the United States, and one of the things that I don't think we do over here at our sports complex is give the people a list of restaurants and places to go. So that might be something we might want to think about. If you're not from the area, you wouldn't know that Applebee's is right up the street unless you Googled it. And that was like my job as the teen mom. I would figure out which restaurants we were going to stay at or go to. What's that? Yeah, I know, but you have to eat dinner, and you're not going to eat, if you're staying for the weekend, and it's nice to know, like, good places to go to, as opposed to just,
What I would add to that,
what's that?
Township, like restaurants like we have, like, Bloomington, that's our township,
Yeah.
the Eatery there, all around, whatever's in West Hampton Township, and concessions.
Well, actually, these tournaments do help because they are staying at those hotels that are in West Hampton because we could see it with the hotel tax that, there is an increase. So you're correct.
Good.
Just have a list of our town restaurants.
public comment will be shortly. We thank you. Moving right along. I thank you for, I just want to say, in terms of that date, as soon as we get that date, we will get that date out That's a huge night, to have Big Ten meet Big East, women's soccer. It gets no bigger than that, and to have that at our field, that's huge for us. It decidedly will be probably one of the largest events that we will have in the area. Then it probably will be, what is it, an intercollegiate game as opposed to a, what is it, springtime, before the season, preseason. It would have been a preseason, but now it might be moved to an intercollegiate game, so I'm excited for that.
Thank God you answered that question, because I don't know anything about
I
sports.
think I'm right.
I was in the marching band.
It is right. That is correct.
Those are
Okay.
the only dates that I have.
I was saying, what are you going to call it?
All right. Any other
I'm finished.
dates?
Just on behalf of the PTO, and I know it's for PTO, April 24th is a fundraiser, 5 to 8 at Sonic on Route 38, no flyers, you just come, and all.
She said April
24th.
Will benefit at some time, we'll drive it,
April 24th?
April 24th, so it's a Monday,
What time?
4 to 8.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any dates? Anyone else have any dates? Thank you. Moving right along, at this time, we'd like to open the meeting for public comment. Ms. Ruthie.
State your name.
You have lousy seats.
Yes,
Your
I'm
your name, your name, please?
Ruth Bonanno, 21 Westland Way.
What was your question, Ms. Ruth?
Seniors want to know, what are you going to do for the seniors at our club? We have lousy seats. They're plastic and you can fall right through them.
Yeah.
And we don't want no cushions. We want some nice, comfortable chairs. And they want a better kitchen.
I thought we took these chairs.
Our concern is that we don't want them to get exchanged and used by other people who rent the facility. That is
Okay. And I was wondering, did you talk to Willingboro about giving the seniors a discount on the water and sewage bills, like other townships do? They get a discount on their bills. Water.
you guys request that from the anyway yourself. I'm not going to have any more. I also, I'm not going to have any more parking.
Ms. Ruth, are we sure that other other seniors and other municipalities get that discount from Willingboro?
No, not.
But there's other utility companies you're saying do that?
No, I'm talking where my sister lives in Westville.
Mhm.
Westville is a little tiny little town,
Yep.
Deptford. They get a discount, a senior discount on their water and sewage bill.
Okay.
As long as they don't go over a certain amount. If you go over a certain amount, you pay the difference.
Is that a municipal one?
Down there, so we have to find out, they don't have PSCG down there, probably, so I think gas is probably a different way, it can, call anyway, but, no, I
Okay.
Yeah, we would have to check with Willingboro and Mount Holly to be
fair.
okay. All right, we'll look into that, Ms. Ruth, to try to have an answer for you.
I'm going to tell Miss Alley what you said. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
You know Miss Alley?
Well, as the liaison to the seniors, not a problem. I would love to be able to take the credit, but in all fairness, it was the deputy mayor who came back to the committee and reported that, in fact, he had an opportunity to speak with the seniors, and that you had reported that the chairs over there were less than subpar, and, right. We understand. We understand. I happened to be over there for an event, and I went to sit down, and I thought that perhaps I would need Weight Watchers or something like that, but in fact, there was a crack in the middle, so I can vouch for what you're saying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Okay.
Janet?
My name is Betty Davis, 66 Sharpton.
Did you get that?
Okay.
I was back there today, back I was making my yard. The problem with that holding thing is like with the water that flows off the street, it goes back there. And all these leaves, bottles, And there was a young guy back there today, and we was talking, you know, and I've been talking to my neighbors too, especially on the townhouses side. But the ones with the houses, those bigger houses where they're back, they since closed in at, they have a problem with the trees. But this one guy, he paid for his to be cut down because he didn't want them falling on his house. So he was out there, me and him was out there together today, and I was cleaning, you know, making my leaves and trees up. That pipe where that water flow through at, all those leaves, bottles, and trash is backed up against it. And when it rains, I can stand out my bedroom, it's coming towards us now. It's flowing out of the lake and coming back up in the back, you know. And it's all this bottles, trash, and, you know, and then, you know, after all that stuff, well, I got this just what I hatched mosquitoes. And then when the heat's supposed to hit this, it really looks terrible. I kind of grabbed him Sunday and drug him through my house. Look at it. So, because it's really going to, by the time the summer gets here, it's going to really be a hell of it.
Okay, but, well, okay, Maria, perhaps what we can do is, to the extent that, Committeeman, that Mike is available, we can go over there with public, we can go to Public Works.
66 Sharpless. 66. 66.
Yeah. I think by way of a little bit of historical perspective, there was a time that we know that we had a beaver problem over there. And I know the beavers were blocking some things up. This may have been some 7, 8 years ago, and we had a problem. I don't know if that is this particular problem, but to the...
It's not the beaver.
We had beavers, and they ate a lot of those trees.
Okay. Okay.
I even called one fellow across that pipe where the water flows through, and the township did come out, and they took it, cut it, took it in, and it was blocking the pipe.
Right.
So when those beavers came to keep those trees down where they were falling, and with the ice and the snow, look at it, and you see some of this automatically broke, like you see those Wilsonboro roads and stuff like that. Some of them, they old, and they broke off into that space. They broke off, and then some, I don't know where they came from. Like, when I had my machine, I paid for my company coming to clean up. But some of it is, so I don't know what they are.
Okay.
But they cut it, dug out the trees, and put the roots of them going out there, not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get out there. Yeah,
All right.
thank you. Any other public comment? Yes, sir.
First.
Yeah, it was just introduction tonight. Yeah.
But it is open with the mayor's permission, it is open comment. You can comment about whatever you want to comment. So you don't have to wait till that, but if you'd like to, we're going to have a session dedicated just for that.
Sure. Okay. Any other public comment? Ms. Curran?
Janet Curran, 123 Main Street, Rancocas. Before you start timing me, Mayor, the Blue Mass in Trenton is for all police officers following families and friends. And they come from all over, Pennsylvania, Delaware, other states. And there's a lot of police officers that in townships that can't make it because they are short of staff. But it's a well-attended, beautiful mass for our fallen police officers.
Okay.
I have two things tonight. One, to be very brief, get my 1 minute in at least. I asked the mayor and the officials, the township committee, would you consider taking those little state law safety men down off of Main Street in the village and no longer painting the lines? It takes away from the historic village, number one. It's causing an issue coming out of APCO, making a left on Main Street, people going on the grass and also destroying the curbs. There's no reason, no one stops for you. When I walk across the street with my granddaughter, and there is not one car that when I have her on Wednesdays or Thursdays. There's no one stops, and there's no need for it. I know there was an issue a couple years ago about us wanting to have some traffic slowed down. Well, the traffic's been great, but the little state law people there are causing a mess. The one on Wills and Main Street, if you look at that gentleman's lawn, it's being ruined for people coming out of APCO. And the white lines just take away, it's not what we really were looking for. So I would like you to take into consideration of doing away with those little people. You do away with them during the snowstorms for the plows, but they're destroying a lot of the curbing and things. So I'd like you to consider not doing that, taking those little people away, especially the one in front of APCO on Main Street.
Okay. We'll consider,
Okay.
or look at it, its appropriateness pursuant to
And
law.
we didn't send a letter yet to the state to find out how legal it is, those lines being painted the way they are, because they go to nowhere. I mean, they go to a street, or, we have no sidewalks. I'm fortunate that I do have a concrete sidewalk. And on virtual hospital, there was an article in the Courier Post on March 13th. They told the whole story. I'm not against the hospital. I respect the hospital. It saves lives. It does a great thing. And I watched it be built from in the 50s and 60s. But I read in the paper, and I'm reading the article in the Times today about the people that, are speaking for the residents of West Hampton. I am one that did not want this hospital here. I mean, it destroys what our community is all about, but it's not going to stop, and it's not going to go away. I am concerned about the traffic. I know about Wood Lane Road, and I'm sure that the county engineers are taking a good look at Wood Lane Road, and also Wood Lane Road and Irick Road and the overpass to the New Jersey Turnpike. The Rancocas Road is already a disaster with traffic at certain times of the day, and we're getting more traffic. But I also, my main concern is, because I remember a house that was on Madison Avenue that was moved by virtual hospital because of the age. The Hogan Homestead and property has been ruled eligible for National Registry of Historic Places. It's a shame this 19th century house is going to be ripped down, bulldozed. They're going to take this house down. Did anyone ever consider thinking about this house, of the historic preservation from the state and this house? Did anyone ever look at? Now, this is the Courier Post, had the full story of the house and the homeland. The State Historic Preservation Office has concluded that the farm is a good example of the 19th century of housing. And again, we've lost so much in West Hampton, eventually we will not be a small community. But my concern is that this beautiful house is going to be torn down, and I think if someone had really looked into it and found out the history of this home, that the house could probably be saved and worked around or moved, because I know the house on Madison Avenue was moved, and it's still there. The house is just moved a block away. So I was just concerned because I read in the Burlington County Times today of who's speaking and who's endorsing the residents of West Hampton Township. Okay, that's fine. That's say what you want to say, but they don't live in West Hampton somehow. They don't know the traffic. They don't know the people.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Mayor, if I can just as a point of information / clarification for Ms. Coran and for any other residents and those that are watching from home, No one on this township committee has been authorized to speak on behalf of West Hampton Township endorsing this project. The mayor has spoken. You heard him give his personal opinion tonight. I don't know if any other folks on the committee have given their personal opinions, but he's done a really good job. I've heard him twice. I heard him earlier tonight here, and I heard him at the hearing that went on today. He was the only one who spoke. He gave his personal opinion. So as far as the township is concerned, this administration and this governing body, there's not a single person authorized right now to give an endorsement of this project on behalf of West Hampton Township. Now, again, as a point of clarification and a point of information, the previous administration, the previous committee, clearly endorsed the project, and I say that because the preliminary site plan approvals were authorized. That went through a land development board process, and that land development board committee, largely the majority of the members were appointed by the previous administration. They approved those preliminary site plans. The committee, I believe then, you correct me if I'm wrong, it comes back to the committee, right? Once the land development board approves a preliminary site plan? All right. I think, Al? It comes back to the township committee. The previous administration, the previous governing body thought it was best, and they approved it. But I think the majority of the members, or most, we're mixed. We're half and half. We're representing a whole new committee, a whole different governing body, and a different administration. So I just want to be clear with everybody, for those that are here tonight and those that are watching at home, on this governing body and this administration, we have no position on no official township position on the virtual project. I went tonight to listen. Maybe I may formulate my own opinion on this, but I'm not there yet. But to be honest with all the residents that are here tonight and those again that are watching, when you receive a preliminary site plan, if I'm not mistaken, it's kind of similar to the deal with the Camuto development. Unless they stray dramatically from the preliminarily approved site plan, I think, no?
General development.
They have a general
General
plan.
development plan.
All right, so general concept plan.
General development plan.
She's been doing land use for over
Yeah.
10 years or more than that.
No.
But
We
my
didn't get to that.
Ask her any questions, she'll.
yeah, Mary, my point is this, and sorry for not taking advantage of your
No,
knowledge.
no problem.
My point is this, unless there's a dramatic stray from that general.
Well, they haven't really presented anything
Right.
to us other than great generality. We have no formal site plan before us, so we don't really know.
So what was approved?
General development plan, very generalized.
So what's the benefit for a developer to get that?
That they need to get that in order to move forward,
Okay.
you know?
Can we revoke that?
I don't think so.
So that's my point to the residents. You know, that's what I want to highlight to the residents. It's nothing that we can revoke.
Right.
You know, I don't want to give, what I'm trying to do is, I want to make sure that the residents have realistic expectations and don't look to this dais, this governing body, for a power to revoke this project, to kill this project, to end this project, because it does not sit with us. We don't have that power. So I just wanted to be clear. That was the point. So I'm sorry it took me a little long, and I'm sorry I confused the terminology, the land use terminology. But I think now you get my point.
I hope y'all keep us in mind that we don't get locked in when all that traffic and the warehouse coming. Because we, around 6 o'clock and 5:30, we can't hold to get out of the building with so much traffic. And I know for a fact these cities that they're avoiding, but if that heavy traffic stops when we get out of the building.
I don't know if there was a light included in that plan.
As a,
From the specific steps.
Yeah.
It's very, very general in Brooklyn County,
No, she's talking about the Camuto.
oh,
The Camuto. I don't think there's a light. The
No.
county required a light
No.
there. No.
We're looking into other egress and egress issues with safety.
Thank you. Are there any other public comment? Ms. Eustace?
Come on. Something new, Lori.
Lori Eustace, 14 Canapa Drive. I was just wondering if there's been any more details about the friend school, what's going on with that?
I have not heard anything. The latest thing that was in the newspapers recently, maybe about a month ago, the Benjamin Banneker School, headquartered out of Willingboro, had actually applied to have some additional classrooms, grades, and they were turned down from the state. I know that they were interested in the building. To date, I haven't heard of any extended activity or who might be looking at it.
I've reached out to the Realtor, and the Realtor hasn't responded. I just wanted to find out what was going on, if there was any other interest. I have not heard back from the Realtor. If I do, I will report this to everybody.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Close the public comment. Thank you all. At this time, committee, department head, professionals, chief? Sure, looks good. Good. Let me see. Thank you. Okay. Fire Marshal? He has a long sleeve version of shirt section. And I thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. Oh, yeah? Sergeant Crocker? No. Nothing, sir? Thank you. LT? Nothing to report? Okay. Thank you. Mr. Solicitor, we want to congratulate you on the arrival and birth of your daughter. And
So let him go home. Right now. I said, let you go home. I'm letting your mother know that.
He's looking for the break. He's looking for the break. He's fine. No, sir? Anything, sir? Okay. Maria, sorry. Marion?
I don't have anything, thanks.
Anything? Okay. Raymond?
Nope.
Nothing?
Fine. I just want to say, keep up the good work. Thank the residents for coming out. But I know you guys are batting cleanup, so I'll keep it short.
You would have to have your Phillies pin on too, right? So you're a baseball kind of mind.
Yeah.
Committee on it? He's yielding the time to the mayor, the deputy mayor.
Yeah, no, actually, it's my husband's birthday, and I really want to get out of here.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Happy, tell him when we said happy birthday.
I will, thank you. So keep it short.
Okay. Committee on it?
No comments tonight.
No comment?
Abe, I need to go.
Just tell the residents, we had a great, very productive session last Tuesday. It was staff development and committee development, and it was a really good session. I took a lot from it, and I think the employees did as well, so just wanted to pass that on.
What are we?
We're all in.
Okay. You want to tell them why we're all in?
No, Marine's going to kill me. We're all in. The theme of the morning session was being all in for West Hampton. Sometimes we need reminders why we ran for office,
Thanks, Andre.
why we took this job, and sometimes our employees also need a reminder why we pick up the phone calls, why we work, why we do what we do. We promise to give our residents the best, so we want to be all in for West Hampton. That was the theme of it, so that was all.
That's it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, two things real quick. Please join me in congratulating West Hampton resident Madeline McLean, who is a junior at Rancopas Valley Regional High School. She's going to the Congress of Future Science and Technology Leaders. She was recommended to go to this highly sought-after STEM program by a Nobel laureate, Dr. John C. Mather, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize in Physics and Science Director of the National Academy of Future Sciences. This is really deep into the pool, big stuff. I would like to, if anyone here knows how to get in touch with this young lady when she comes back, whether it's at the end of the summer or whenever it is. Would love to bring her before the committee to talk to her. I think this committee has had a policy of lifting up and showing our best and brightest here in West Hampton Township. The weekend of the 24th and 25th, I'd like to thank all involved in helping the Global Timbuktu. I can tell you that the Friday, the Global Timbuktu was up in Rutgers, New Brunswick. It was nothing short of an eye-opening experience, tying the communities of West Hampton Township, New Jersey, Timbuktu, New York, and Timbuktu, Mali. Phenomenal. There were academics and doctors from around the world that were there. This was a very high-arcing event. There were several times, not surprisingly, that I was lost because they really went into the weeds, as a 4, 5, 6-hour conference would be. The next day was here, Rancocas Valley. I'd like to thank Chiefs, Captain Roger. I'd like to thank you and Fire Police for all your assistance in that. The event that we had at the Rancocas Valley Regional High School was nothing short of just astounding. There was also a showing of some artifacts that we uncovered archaeologically from our site that was at the Underground Railroad. Stay tuned. There's more to come on this. And also, and I have to get back with one of the board members from the Underground Railroad. He has designed a shirt, Timbuktu to Timbuktu, which is basically a map. I even corrected the gentleman that West Hampton Township had an H in it, and he correctly corrected me that the old map of West Hampton Township correctly has an H in it. And this is circa back in the day. So
I thought it should still.
yeah, found out some stuff that, quite frankly, never saw before. So this gentleman is actually going to come before us. I've asked the chairman of the Timbuktu Advisory Committee to come back in a future meeting, but we knew we had budget meeting, we knew we had other things, and we actually have to go into closed session right after this meeting. So that's it. But that was important enough to get out, so I thank you for allowing me to get that out. I will entertain a motion to go into closed session, executive session.
Yes, we're going to talk about litigation. It should be on the...
I'm not coming.
How long?
She said a couple of minutes max.
I said 15 minutes max, probably 5.
Okay. So,
We'll come back after that if they want to, but no action, I don't think any action.
No action.
No action will be taken.
yeah, we're not taking any action tonight, so you're free to wait for us, and we will be opening back up to public and then adjourn for the evening. So at this time, I will entertain a motion for Resolution 4317 to adjourn into executive. Are we doing it here? We're going.
Yes.
Right. Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll.
There's no audience.
Oh.
Come on. Funny. That was funny.
We are now open.
And adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
Is that it?
Come on, Andre. I think Eddie Murphy said it. It's just comedy.
Bye, everybody.